But
Yeah.
speaking of comic books, Marvel and DC, Falky and Winnie, episode
Oh
2,
yeah.
Falky and Winnie. So
Falcon and Winnie.
just like last week, we can just kind of recap. We don't have to go through the whole episode. We can just talk about what we noticed, what we liked. There will probably be spoilers, so listeners, if you haven't seen episode 2 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, check the description and click ahead. What did you think about the episode?
I like this episode. I think the first one was a little bit better because we had that real awesome action scene in the beginning, and it kind of showed the everyday real lives. This episode kind of showed Bucky and Sam's. It was more comedic, like buddy cop-ish.
It was a buddy cop
Than the
episode for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely didn't mind it. I enjoyed it, man. Like them going back and forth is just hilarious. The little staring contest they had, great. The stuff between them, the new Captain America and Battlestar was just it's all good stuff, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really enjoyed. It was interesting that they're going kind of a nuanced route with the new Captain America. His name is John Walker. He's a decorated soldier. He definitely seems like he's there by his own merit in a way, even though, yeah, Winter Soldier and Falcon definitely have different ideas about whether or not he deserves that shield. And
Right.
that creates some tension, obviously. But he also starts to kind of show a bit of his true character throughout the episode. So while it starts off, he's like unsure, and he's like, can I do this? Okay, I need to try to do this. And he's got people in his life that care about him. Seems like a decent dude.
Yeah.
But then when he says stuff like, I didn't know Steve Rogers, but I feel like we're best friends. Or, you know, if you're not going to help me, stay out of my way. Or,
Yeah,
you know,
that
like
part I was like,
calling Bucky. It's just like, you don't get to do that. Like, Bucky doesn't even like Falcon to do that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess we'll see how it plays out. Now, John Walker in the comics ended up being U.S. agent, if I'm not mistaken. So they'll probably go that route. By the way, the actor that plays John Walker, even though he looks terrible in that mask, he looks so goofy. Oh, my God. His features do not play well with that mask. But his name is Wyatt Russell. He's actually Kurt Russell's son.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
he was in an episode of Black Mirror, too.
He was in an episode of Black Mirror, a very notable one because it was about AR gaming, I believe. It was like that horror game. I remember that episode always stuck out to me as like fucked up.
Yeah, I think I might rewatch that series because there's
Yeah.
some stuff I don't remember about it.
Yeah, it's really, really, really hit or miss. I never go back to it unless somebody recommends a particular episode to me. But that one I would recommend because I just think it's an interesting story for sure. The one that he was in with the AR horror game that he had to test out. Yeah, I like him as an actor, and I think it's interesting what they're doing with him as a character. In the show, I don't like him, and I don't think I'm supposed to. I'm just, whenever he comes on, they get that look on their face. They can barely look him in the eye, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Right.
But they got into some interesting revelations in this episode. Isaiah Bradley,
Yeah.
the black Captain America, he was a super soldier. He was given the super soldier serum to fight in the Korean War. Actually ran into the Winter Soldier, tore his arm off. They didn't show it, but they talked about it because the Winter Soldier came to him like, hey, we ran into some more super soldiers, the Flag Smashers. Apparently a lot of them in the group are super soldiers. They kicked our ass. What's going on? Who else has this serum? But Isaiah wasn't really down to clown. He was like, they put me in prison for 30 years and experimented on me Tuskegee style. Fuck you, get out of my house. I was like, okay, whoa, that got heavy real quick.
Yeah, it did. And he was killing it, the actor.
Oh, I know. That whole scene was just like filled with...
This doesn't seem very Marvel at all. This is some heavy drama shit. Let's go.
He was going for that Oscar, man. And as far as I'm concerned, he gets one. But I hope they don't just one and done him. They're just like, look, Disney's woke. See the scene that we created to
I
show
hope we
you?
get a flashback or something.
Yeah, I
of him
want to
fighting
see...
Bucky.
Yeah, I hope that he becomes more of a regular character because he was probably one of the most interesting things about this episode, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They hop outside of his house, and they have a little moment where two men are arguing in the street. The cops roll up immediately. They go to the black dude like, hey, you bothering this white man?
Right. Is he bothering you, sir?
And he's like, do you even know who this is? You know, like he pulls that.
Avengers, bro. That's one fucking Avengers. Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
I know. And Sam's like, this bullshit again. And then they end up arresting Winter Soldier because he hadn't made it to his probation mandated therapy appointment. So like you said, they have that scene where they're staring at each other because they both go into the therapy together, which looked more like a cross-examination to me, but whatever.
Yeah. I love how those cops knew that the Winter Soldier missed his therapy appointment.
Right? They're like, oh, there's a warrant out for you, sir.
Right. It's like,
Right.
really? Is everybody in every state getting the warrant for the Winter Soldier? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably his hometown, though, right? I don't think they were hopping anywhere. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? That's actually an interesting point, though. They came up with that warrant real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were, first of all, they were all focused on Sam, but then they ran the Winter Soldier shit, and I'm just like, all right, sounds good.
Right.
I guess they felt bad, and they had to justify rolling up en masse, because that other cop car came up real quick. I was like, damn, they about to get this man.
Hell yeah.
Again, it's definitely, there's a lot of social issues being brought up in the show, which I'm about, because I feel like Captain America is inherently political, but it may piss some people off.
Right.
To which I say, oh well, go watch another show, I guess.
Yeah,
You know?
speaking of that, my neighbor across the street, she asked me today, she's a white woman, but she has black kids, and she has a, like, in this house, Black Lives Matter sign in her yard. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Today, she comes up to me, and she's like, hey, did you see, somebody broke my sign in half, the sign that we have? And I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
There's a lot of old white people that live around here. There's a lot of people walking up and down the street all the time. So I'm sorry your sign got broken, but that's just it's another day in the life.
Yeah.
It really sucks that she's had it up for like over a year too. So it's like, I don't understand.
Some people feel pretty strongly about it, and most of it, I don't know. I feel like this is such a fucking touchy subject, because the mural we had downtown, they defaced that too. Like, I think the night of the day I went to go visit it and film it, like that night somebody defaced it with paint. Just such an innocuous phrase as people's lives matter in response to them getting killed by police, you know what I mean? And it being like, not only like no one really being held accountable for that, but it being kind of publicly sanctioned, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's such a visceral response. And there is, I mean, I've known a lot of, it's funny how they turned around real fast this year, man, or last year. But I've known a lot of white people, they're like, all lives matter, because they were taken in by that rhetoric that it was racist somehow. And I would try to explain to them, like, no, you misspelled black. Here's why. You can't co-opt that phrase. And they just didn't get it. You know what I mean? Because they were bougie or whatever. And then eventually they got it. And then I see them on Facebook with their Black Lives Matter t-shirt, or like you said, the sign in their yard. And I didn't get no reach out or like, hey, I was wrong, or hey, I'm sorry for arguing with you publicly about that. But it's like there's still a lot of people that are convinced that somehow it's racist, or that Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization.
Right.
Because there's all that bad faith reporting out there. And it's just like, guys, we just want the police to stop.
We just have to agree on this one thing.
Yeah, please. But even if you don't agree with it, the fact that you're so moved to destroy a sign, I mean, think about what's the end game here for you, honestly.
Right. And like she said, she told me, I'm just going to go buy another sign, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's catch these bastards.
Yeah, put aside some money, because you have to buy a few of them probably. But, one more thing that was revealed, Flag Smashers. So that terrorist group that they're kind of investigating, they're like Robin Hood. They steal from the rich to give to the poor. They seem to derive their ideals from pre-blip. I kind of get it. When the blip happened, I bet a lot of people reverted to spreading the resources among the survivors, helping lift people up. Like there was like the fact that the world didn't completely devolve into chaos means there was a lot of socialism going on. There's a lot of people goodwill helping each other out, right? And then when the blip people came back and they had to reintegrate them into their lives, existing power structures came back, as evidenced by the fact they immediately gave the shield to that white man. But I mean, like, so they're like, no, we remember how it was before, when we were all banding together and helping each other, and we're going to keep that up. So their slogan is, what was it? One world, one people?
One world, one people, yeah.
Yeah. And I get kind of where they're coming from, to be honest. Sometimes it feels like the only way to dismantle power structures is by the means that they're enacting. Whether you agree with that or disagree with that, that's another topic for another day. But the leader was revealed, Carly Morgenthau. Seemed like a harmless, innocent girl. Looks a little bit like Michelle Wolf, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
She's a comedian that used to be on The Daily Show.
Okay.
Listeners,
I've probably seen her before.
Yeah. Listeners might recognize her. But, yeah, she ended up kicking Falcon's
Bucky's
ass,
ass.
Bucky's ass. She kicked the new Captain America's ass, Battlestar. She whooped all of them with her friends.
She broke Red Wing in half.
She smashed Red Wing over her knee. I was like, damn.
No!
Falky's going to be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really lament as hard as I thought he would. I was like, well, maybe he's got spares.
Right.
So, yeah, but overall, I thought it was a great episode. I'm still thinking about it. It was tightly edited. It moved along. These episodes are longer than WandaVision, but they feel like they're over just as quick. Like, I'm enthralled from start to finish. I don't feel any lulls. I don't feel any boredom while I'm watching them, even if they're not action from start to finish. Kristen got real excited. She was like, ooh, action on top of two semis, action on top of two semis. And I was like, I hope we see somebody do the splits. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to episode 3 next week. We'll definitely be here to talk about it. So,
yeah, I also love how Bucky just dipped out when the semis first started driving away, and him and Falcon just dipped out and see how fast he was running. And I sometimes I forget that Bucky is
a super soldier. Yeah,
like sometimes I think it's just the middle arm, but like no, he's a big boy.
Yeah, they didn't
chasing after cars.
They didn't establish it super hard in the Winter Soldier movie, so I sort of get it. But I always assume that if he can go toe to toe with Cap and Black Panther, he's probably augmented.
Yeah.
So, but that never came up. Like, how many other super soldiers did Hydra make? Obviously, they were able to replicate it with Bucky. What's going on? You know.
Right.
So, who knows, man? They're looking to explore that, it sounds like, with this. We know that if you go into the actual comic lore, this all kind of checks out, and it's leading to some possible, obvious conclusions with John Walker.